Hello everyone, Ember Power here, and welcome back to a new video. In this one I'm going to be going over a Drampa Berserk deck. So I really wanted to do a Drampa deck because, well, one of the reasons why is because I just like Drampa as a Pokemon. I think it's pretty cool. Second of all, that artwork is amazing. Third of all, Berserk is just such a cool attack. It's very similar, if not the exact same damage output actually, as the Drampa GX card from, I think it was Sun and Moon Guardians Rising. It might be incorrect, might be just Sun and Moon base set. But either way, it was from one of those two sets, and Drampa GX was just a really fun deck back in the day. So when this card was revealed, I was very excited to try it out because I thought it looked pretty cool. Unfortunately, the attack cost is a wee bit annoying though. Needing one water energy and then one fighting energy is super inconvenient. But basically, the attack does 70 damage and then 90 more if any of your bench Pokemon have any damage counters on them. Should have mentioned that at the start of the video, but hey, better late than ever, I guess. Also, only has 120 HP, so you are quite fragile and you will be KO'd more or less every turn. So initially with this deck, I tried to make it work with just Raihan and I think it's Gutsy Pickaxe. The one allows you to attach your fighting energy from the top of your deck. I really tried my very best to make that work. Unfortunately, it was just way too inconsistent and just awful, basically. I might have another go at it at some point in the future with like a Mew Turbo Engine and, like 4 Gapejaw Bog or something. But basically, that deck just really wasn't working out for me, and yeah, definitely was pretty bad. So unfortunately, even though I didn't want to do it, I ended up using the Lost Zone engine because, of course, Mirage Gate will allow you to find 2 different basic energy. I know I'm not the biggest fan of Lost Zone. I've frequently said in the past, I don't like how the deck is designed in the Pokemon card game. Like, Sableye is just a bit too strong in my opinion. But either way, this is like the best way to play Drampa, to be honest. And of course, this means that this is by no means one of the better Lost Zone variants. This is easily like the worst variant, maybe. But the deck is still a whole ton of fun because, Drampa is a fun card to use. And one of the other things that I really do like about this deck is that it reminds me of the Amazing Rare decks. So the Amazing Rares were pretty terrible in the Pokemon TCG until Lost Zone came around. So basically, cards like Amazing Rare Rayquaza, Reshiram, Yveltal, even ones like Kyogre and what's the one called? Raikou, all seem like great attackers, but they never really took off until Mirage Gate and the Lost Zone engine came around because of their super awkward attack costs. Now, I played a lot of like Reshiram and stuff. That was probably my favorite Lost Zone deck. But when it comes to, like Raikou and Kyogre, they were definitely like the better decks, and then Rayquaza was probably the best, I'd say. But unfortunately, all the Amazing Rares did rotate, sadly. I think there might be 1 or 2 that are left, but I'm pretty sure like the majority of Amazing Rares did rotate. So yeah, unfortunately we don't have any like cool single prize basics that really take their place apart from like the Kyogre, I guess, or the Snorlax, which truthfully just isn't really that fun to use. What is it? The Thumping Snorlax, which just does 180 damage. I know the image is a bit blurred there. Oh, there we go. So it does 180 damage, and then you send Snorlax to sleep. But of course, the problem with this card is it's basically just better than any other basic, like single prize basic that you could attack with, theoretically. So it kind of just, yeah, it's a bit boring, to be honest. I don't like using Snorlax that much, and it's one of the reasons why I only play a single copy of it. But yeah, Drampa's just a lot more of a cool Pokemon to use, in my opinion, so that's why I like to use Drampa. But yeah, this deck kind of reminds me of the Amazing Rares, and that's like one of the reasons why I play it. Haven't been playing too much Lost Zone on the ladder, to be honest, just because, once again, I don't really like the deck, but also because Comfey just takes so long to play. If you've ever played multiple games against Lost Zone in a row, you'll know how painfully long the games are. Like, just waiting for the opponent to choose what to do with flower selecting, and then switching into the next Comfey, and then playing an Escape Rope, and then choosing whatever next Pokemon to play. Maybe they'll use their Greninja or whatever. Then they'll switch into a Cramorant to finally attack with it or something. Yeah, I don't really encourage people playing more Lost Zone on the ladder. It's really annoying to face, but if you want to try out something a bit different and it's not strictly like very competitive, I guess, then this could be worth giving a go. Plus, Drampa's not like the worst attacker ever. 160 damage is actually pretty solid for a single prize Pokemon. It is for 2 energy, and of course we will need to use Mirage Gate, but yeah, it's a bit of fun, We also have stuff like the Galarian Zapdos V with Fighting Instinct. So basically this is just here for stuff like, Arceus Giratina primarily. Like Arceus does see a decent amount of play on the ladder, maybe not as much as it used to, but you can also deal with stuff like Miraidon if they have multiple Regielekis in play, which is cool. And if they have at least 2 Regielekis, you can use Thunderous Kick for 2 energy, so it's perfect Mirage Gate. Also worth noting that both Galarian Zapdos and Radiant Greninja both need fighting or water energy, and Drampa needs fighting and water energy as well. This also is part of the reason why we don't actually play Zamazenta, because yes, Zamazenta is just a strictly better attacker than Drampa, but I've been over this. We're just trying to make Drampa work, trying to have some fun here. So there is no Drampa, and thus there is no Metal Energy. In fact, if we go to the energy counts here, I just play 4 basic fighting energy, 5 basic water energy, and 2 basic psychic. You could change this around to see how you fit. I just kind of like to play a lot of energy in these Lost Zone decks just because it helps a bit with finding them, and means that we don't have to be so concerned with Colress in like too many energy, I guess, into the Lost Zone. As for the trainers, we play 3 Ultra Ball just to help us find Pokemon, 4 Switch. I know I'm playing the worst Switch artwork in the world, but it's what it is, to kind of get them out there. We also play 4 Escape Rope, 1 Lost Sweeper, 2 Battle VIP Pass. Also play the Sky Seal Stone, which can just allow Zapdos to potentially KO a VMAX Pokemon. So we can potentially get an extra prize card. I haven't done this that much, to be honest. And it's probably better if you run Drapion on this deck, which I didn't really find room for in the end because you have to run like all this awkward stuff. But you could probably cut out something like maybe remove a Drampa, I guess, and then make room for a Drapion. Just because, Mew is still super popular, so a Drapion would be a pretty cool idea. 4 Mirage Gate, because that's still the best way to power up Drampa. A Forest Seal Stone is kind of like a go-to option because we have both Lumineon and Zapdos. We also have 4 Nest Ball because we just primarily play basic Pokemon, so it makes sense. 4 Colress Experiment, which is like the main draw supporter of the deck. We don't need too many draw supporters because Colress is so strong and we have Comfey. We also have 2 copies of Gapejaw Bog, which isn't that many, to be honest. I would like to find room for a few more copies of this. But it does say whenever either player puts a basic Pokemon from their hand onto their bench, you place 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. So this is going to help us use Drampa's attack. As you may have noticed, Drampa needing to use Mirage Gate to essentially power it up means that we're not actually trying to use Drampa in the early game. We're trying to use it in like the mid to late game when we can actually afford to use Mirage Gate. So that's kind of like why I don't play as many Gapejaw Bogs maybe. It's just like you find them later on and that's when you use Drampa. You could make of that what you will. It's kind of just my pathetic excuse for the deck being terrible. But, it's how we're doing it today. We also have Arven, which allows you to search your deck for an item and a tool card. I kind of like this because it means we can find the Forest or Sky Seal Stone, which also means we could use Forest Seal Stone to find Gapejaw Bog. So that's kind of cool at least. Then we also have 3 Boss's Orders just for some gusting power. And of course, we don't have any cross switchers in here. So we do also need a way to gust our Pokemon. As for additional Pokemon, we play Lumineon just to help us find a supporter that we need. We, of course, play the big menace Sableye with Lost Mine to pick apart smaller Pokemon like Flaffies because Miraidon still sees a ton of play. We also do play 2 copies of Cramorant. I did consider going down to 1 copy, but Cramorant's just such a useful, easy-to-use Pokemon that it just makes sense to have more copies of it, and it's just a very good attacker. So yeah, that's kind of it for the deck profile for Drampa. Do let me know what you think about this down below. Of course, this is supposed to be a bit of fun. It's not supposed to be like a super competitive deck. I don't want to see any comments saying this deck is garbage. I'm aware of that. But it is a bit of fun. You can scoop up wins here and there. It's just supposed to be like another, I think they're Amazing Rares. Is that what they're called? Yeah, Amazing Rares. It's supposed to be like one of those Amazing Rares sort of decks. It's not great by any stretch of the imagination, but it's still a lot of fun. So I would recommend giving this a go if you have the time. So yeah, it's been Our Power, and thank you for watching.